Today, you should be extremely happy because I'm going to teach you an opening that will let us win most of the time and super quickly. And if that wasn't enough, it's with the black pieces. And to top it off, it's against the most popular move in the world, which is e4, the king's pawn. So if you want more videos like this, all you have to do is give this video a like. Let's start with the Scandinavian defense, d5. We've seen this kind of opening several times on the channel, but for me, this one is truly the ultimate. The most common thing in this opening is that they capture our pawn. We're actually threatening to capture it ourselves, right? Without a doubt, the best move is for them to capture our pawn. The difference is that instead of recapturing with the queen, we're going to bring out our knight to f6 first. We've seen this move on the channel before, but in this video, we're going to refine it. Popular responses. Well, I've been looking through the database, and by far the most popular response is to try to defend it with the knight. However, does that actually help? No, because we're attacking it with two pieces, and it's only defended by one. So we're going to capture this pawn. I've checked again to see what people do most often in the database. What they do most is capture this knight. Well, it's not a good idea for our opponent to capture this knight because now it lets us centralize the queen in a spectacular way. Haven't you ever been told you shouldn't bring your queen out at the beginning of the game? Well, that's correct. However, a queen in the center is very powerful when it can't be attacked, and there's no easy way for them to go after it. So here, the most common thing, if they want to develop both bishops, is for them to occupy the center with their d4 pawn. Very good move, but we have a devious plan, and they're practically going to lose in just 2 or 3 more moves. We'll start with knight to c6. Are you understanding what we're doing? We're putting pressure on this d4 pawn with 2 pieces at once, the queen and the knight. What should they do? Of course, defend it, right? They develop a piece while defending it. But our real target wasn't this pawn. Pay attention, okay? Now, probably a lot of you are thinking, well, we could play this bishop, for example, to pin the knight, right? Develop this pawn. No, our goal is to do this. This move you see here is going to be the real key to this position. Pay attention. What are we threatening? Well, it might seem like nothing. This knight threatens over here, but it's well defended, right? It's not threatening anything. Your opponent is going to think, let's see, the only thing I can do here is kick out your knight. For example, with a3, a move that already loses, with c3, which also loses, or attack your queen with c4, which also loses. All of these moves lose, and I'll explain why. Our real goal is to sneak our queen into this square here, e4, checking the king and aiming at the c2 square, which the knight is also targeting. Let me show you. For example, if they play c3, which is what I've seen most often, but it works against any other move too, then we sneak in with the queen and give a check. And once they block the check, it doesn't matter if it's with the queen or the bishop, we simply bring in the knight, check, and we're going to take the rook. You see it? When the king moves away, we simply take the rook. And not only that, but usually here they recapture our knight, right? Well, in this case, not even that, because we can simply get our knight out via c2, well protected by the queen, and we'll have a completely clean extra queen. For example, here they might try to come and attack our knight with the queen, but we just move it, and whatever they do, even here, we could capture the bishop with the knight, or, even spicier, which I like, we capture it with the queen, giving her away. We give her away completely because now when we recapture with the knight, we give check and then take back the queen. And as you can see, we've ended up with a completely clean rook advantage. Come on, you guys should know how to win this by now, right? Remember, our goal isn't the pawn, but to jump with our knight over here. Careful, we're threatening queen and knight check and to take this c2 square, right? A lot of you might be thinking, is there any move that can stop this? Yes, but I have very good news for you. The move that can defend is bishop to d3, and all you have to do is bring your bishop to f5 to trade it for this one. Once they're traded, now it's simply the queen and the knight attacking again. Basically, the only thing I've changed is that instead of being on e4, it's on f5, and now nothing happens because they can't defend it in any way. Do you see it? So we don't have to worry if they play, in this case, bishop to e3. And I'll tell you even whither. When they play, for example, let's say c3, you remember, right? Our plan is queen to e4, check. Now they have to block. If they block with the queen, remember, it works like this. Knight to c2, check. When they move, we capture the queen first. It's important not to capture the rook because we lose the queen. And when we exchange queens, then we can capture the rook. This is very important. All right, and what if they block the check? Queen to e4 check, with the bishop, for example. What should we do there? Come on, you should already know this. Jump in, give a check, and take the rook. Hey neighbor, I know you're doing renovations, but could you let me record the video, please? Thank you very much. There is a way for the white pieces to save themselves, and it's neither blocking with the bishop nor blocking with the queen. I assure you, almost no one is going to play this move against you. It's moving the king to d2. Don't tell me this isn't a sad move, and almost no one will ever play it. But you need to be prepared. Look, if you don't remember anything else, all you have to do is keep giving checks with the queen, and they can't get away. So basically, it would just be a draw. You see it? But if you don't want to do that, there's a killer little trick here that works really well, especially because your opponent sees you're doing weird stuff, and it's simply to play e6, giving away the knight. Because if they take it, if not, nothing happens. But if they do take it, you deliver checkmate on the next move, and the king can't escape. And this is the best part of the video. What happens if they reply with c4, directly attacking our queen? Very simple. Look, this opening is super easy. We're going to give the same check, queen to e4, check. If they block with the bishop or the queen, we already know what to do. Knight to c2 and we win a rook. But if they don't block and play the seemingly good king to d2, all you have to do is the following. Pay attention, because this is mind-blowing. You bring your bishop to f5. This move might sound familiar, because we already used it earlier when they played bishop to d3, right? So now what? Well, the truth is, we're threatening two things at once. The first is to break in through this square anyway. You see it? This is extremely important. We're still threatening to come in through here. And the other thing, which is also very important, is that, for example, if they come to defend this square, we're also threatening to take the pawn. In other words, they're facing several threats. But of course, you have to be really careful, because here, white has a killer move. This one here, queen to a4 check. But don't worry, because this is actually very good for us. It might seem like we absolutely have to move our knight back. In fact, we're going to do it so we don't lose it. But actually, this is a really good move. It's true, we're pinned, and they can put more pressure with the pawn. But you know what? Here, we're winning. Completely winning. A lot of you might think, hey, I'll castle long, and that way I pin the pawn, right? And then they can't take the knight. Well, no. In fact, we want them to take our knight, and we're going to force it with the move e6. If you take my knight, now I'll show you what I'm going to do. And if not, I'll take your pawn, then I'll take with the queen, and your king is stuck in the center. Even if I take the pawn and you take me, I take your queen. So you have to take the knight. And now, and only now, when we've already opened up the king's file, we castle long. The king has to move, and we simply hit with rook to e3, check, sacrificing the rook, but it doesn't help because the queen and bishop combine, and that's checkmate again. You should know that these kinds of traps work really well, but if your opponent plays perfectly, they're not going to work. That's obvious. That's why you also need to have a solid foundation, right? You already know that I always recommend you study openings on chessmind.ai, which is the app I use, and I'll leave the link in the description. And just so you know, this Sunday, of course, our official academy is finally launching, where you'll be able to train every week. Plus, it'll include the ChessMind app completely free. Please, let me take a moment to say this because it's important. So if you want, you can start checking it out or seeing how you like the app for training, because I assure you, it's amazing. And if you like it, then you can wait until this Sunday to get the Academy, where you'll obviously have the monthly classes and everything the Academy offers, plus full free access to the ChessMind app. So I'll leave it for you down below in the description in case you want to try it out. I'll also leave the link to the newsletter, because if you subscribe to the newsletter, you'll be the first to know when you can finally access the Academy, and we'll lay out all the steps for you there. So if you're interested, down below, subscribe to the newsletter. It's free, and of course, you'll be the first to find out. I hope you love this video. Get ready, because there are going to be more awesome videos like this one, and I'll see you in the next one, friends. Goodbye.